start at 197. That's a quick takedown for Seth Shumate. And we're not even 15 seconds into this matchup at 197, and the Buckeye draws first blood.
Very quick. He got behind him, did that mat return. I didn't even see how he got there. And now Gabe is in a tough spot here on his belly. He's got to work to get his knees under him and start to build up to his base. Looks like Shumate has that wrist tied up.
Shumate with the 2-on-1 trying to look for it. Looks like about a tilt. He doesn't have the pressure for it, kind of waiting, maybe try to bait Sollars to get back up to his hands and knees. Again with that side right as Sollars gets his hand free.
And now Gabe's starting to build up, got to get his knees back under him. Shumate doing a good job with that tight waist, cranking it, keeping Gabe flat.
It's the first time these two have faced off in their collegiate careers. Gabe Sollars is 0-1 all-time against Ohio State. He lost 9-6 to Luke Geog last year as he gets warned for stalling. Shumate just going to work on top. He already has a minute of riding time.
These guys separated by 3 in the rankings, as you see, and they wrestle super similar, actually. Shumate, really tough ride, as we've seen so far, and he's going to cut him now.
Sollars being careful as he circles away and gets the escape. 3-1 the score. The Buckeye ahead of the Hoosier with 1:25 to go in this first period at 197. Again, Riley Woodall, Dan Fongaro with you here in Bloomington, Indiana. Solid crowd. Nice sprawl from Sollars. We're back up to our feet.
Both these guys really strong hips. We saw Shumate not have to go past that challenge of the hips of Sollars when he got that first takedown just by sliding behind him and mat returning. We'll see if both these guys can get those hips involved. Nice shot by Gabe.
I mentioned it in the broadcast we did of the Rutgers dual meet a couple weeks ago. Dan Shumate in on an attack once again, peek through position, doubling off, trying to hook the leg. Sollars doing a great job of locking around the waist.
Gabe trying to roll him through. This could be big.
Through, and he does. Shumate's on his back, and he's going to get near fall swipes. Sollars with Shumate on his back. He gets 3 near fall swipes, and he takes the lead 4-3.
Oh, incredible, incredible. Shumate was about to score. Got his hips a little too far. The weight distribution was off, and Gabe felt it. He rolled him right through.
The official counted again and has 4 near fall swipes up, so it should be a 5-3 score after this. No, they're going to add 4 more. He's going to add 4 more to the tally. So it's an 8-3 score. The Hoosier quickly ahead of the Buckeye.
That is a big swing in this match. Now Gabe looking to close this out. 3 seconds to ride here. It's a big ride out for Gabe.
Angel Escobedo is going to love that great ride out by the Hoosier in his 7th season as Escobedo, 35-49, 14-12 in the Big Ten. He's coached 20 NCAA qualifiers, IU alum, wrestled as a Hoosier from 2007 to 2010, 2008 NCAA champ at 125 pounds. Program's only 4-time All-American, and he's brought the fans to Wilkinson once again and garnered a lot of excitement around this program as he's taken over as the head man, Dan.
He sure has. You feel the energy in this building today. Lots of Hoosier fans, lots of Buckeye fans in the building too as Gabe looks to suck him back.
Sollars was looking for that chin drop there. Shumate was able to get back up underneath himself. Sollars goes to work, tearing away at that riding time that Shumate had built up early on in that first period. Below 20 seconds and counting. Sollars a great top rider in his own right as we are on a precarious position on the edge of the mat. Shumate tries to get away, and Sollars able to maintain control.
Both of these guys so good on top when you go and watch their film. Both of them know how to put a ride on, and not just ride, but turn. As we saw, Sollars had that 7-point move at the end of the first, and now he's looking to chip away at that ride time.
Sollars leads Shumate 8-3, 1:30 to go, period 2. Our first bout between the Hoosiers and the Buckeyes. Sollars tried to go for a tilt there, and now it's Shumate that has a chance to get back on top. He gets the reversal.
Great job by Shumate getting his hips out and then switching them at the last second to get this reversal. And he's in a similar spot as he was before now, has Gabe flat on his stomach, collecting those wrists. Step 1 for Sollars is going to be to free his wrist down here and then start building his knees up.
Shumate looks like he's trying to get those double bars, both hands pulled in as he goes to work on that side right on the right side of the Hoosier once again. Less than a minute to go in period 2 at 197.
Gabe did get hit with a stall call in this spot in the first period. he's going to have to keep working up as he just did to avoid getting hit again.
Sollars on the season, 13-8, 5-5 in duels. He's 2-4 in Big Ten duels. He's lost his last 2 Big Ten ranked duels, 4 ranked wins, 6 ranked losses on the season as he gets away and gets the escape. Shumate 9-9 on the season, 2-7 in duels. It's 1-7 versus top 25 opponents this year, coming off that 4-1 loss to Isaiah Salazar and sudden victory in the Buckeyes' shocking loss against the Golden Gophers on Friday.
Yeah, that was an incredible match. We saw a lot of tough wrestling there. Shumate digging this underhook. Gabe keeping that collar. Shumate, I mean, after you take a shot where you almost score and then you give up 7, that's in the back of your mind when you're out there thinking about, wow, this next shot I got to finish quick.
See Tom Ryan there for the Buckeyes, spurring on his wrestler in Seth Shumate at 97. He trails by 4 as we enter period 3. Sollars is going to take bottom, a pivotal first match, our first of 5 ranked matchups this afternoon in Wilkinson Hall. Dan, this is one, as we mentioned, prepping for this broadcast. Sollars gets the escape. A lot of tight toss-up matches in this dual meet. Both teams got to have it.
This is a big one. This is one of those toss-up matches for both guys. Gabe did a great job getting out before that riding time ticked over a minute. But, man, we're in for an exciting duel here, Riley. The Buckeyes are without Sammy Sasso and Patty Gallagher. So that kind of changes the dynamic of how you look at this meet, whether you're a Buckeye fan or a Hoosier fan. I think we're in for a real tight one.
All 8 of Sollars' losses have come by 4 points or more. Shumate tried to go for the throw there as we go out on the edge. We go out of bounds, and Sollars gets hit with another stall call. That's a point for Shumate.
Sollars danced around the edge a little too much there, but he was trying to circle in. Shumate did a good job shooting him out, though. Still 4-point lead with a minute left for Sollars. Shumate's going to have to get something going here.
All 9 of Seth Shumate's losses this season have come by 3 points or less. Tough sledding at 197 pounds this season where the rubber meets the road. Speed versus strength. Front headlock position for Sollars on the edge of the mat, trying to snap him down and do the shuck by. Shumate gets back up to his feet. 43 seconds left, period 3, 197 pounds. The Hoosier leads by 4.
Shumate with that 53 seconds of riding time, he just has to take him down with 7 seconds or more remaining and ride him out to get this thing to overtime. He's got 30 to do it. He's picking up the pace right now.
Both men in desperate need of a win down the stretch with Big Tens and NCAAs just around the corner. 17 seconds left. Shumate's got to go. Sollars shoves him off.
Gabe playing it safe there.
10 seconds left. Wilkinson Hall can feel it. Sollars starts getting serenaded with the claps here in Bloomington, Indiana. Gabe Sollars with the 10-6 win over Seth Shumate. Snaps a 2-match losing streak, and the Hoosiers draw first blood. Huge for Indiana.
That's a statement win for Gabe. A big win in this duel.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
I'd like to see Bullock get back to his offense here. He did get scored on off that opening attempt, but you got to stay with it, and a nice snap attempt.
Both guys heavy on the collar. Jacob Bullock second at the Midlands this season. Nick Feldman got 6th at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invite. 2 very, very tough tournaments, Dan. These 2 guys, very savvy wrestlers, very accomplished wrestlers in their own right. As first period comes to a close, and a little bit of extracurricular
a little chippy. I love it.
And for more on this matchup, we'll now toss it to the 3rd member of our crew, Ari Betterly. Ari.
Thanks, Riley. Yes, these are the two heavyweights up today, Jacob Bullock and Nick Feldman. For the Hoosiers, Bullock has been consistent. The 285, he's a graduate student with his leadership and consistency that has made him a crucial piece to Indiana. When I spoke to head coach Angel Escobedo about Bullock, he said, Jacob has been a leader all year. He set the tone of what toughness and experience look like. And on the other end, the Ohio State Nick Feldman continues to develop into a serious Buckeye for the heavyweight pipeline. This redshirt sophomore is following the footsteps from some elite OSU heavyweights, and today's matchup is another big test. Head coach Tom Ryan spoke with Feldman's growth, saying, Nick's got all the tools. He's working to be one of the best and taking big steps, and it should be an exciting match. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Ari. Again, two very accomplished guys, Bullock, the old savvy vet, Feldman, the young, hungry up-and-comer. He leads 4-1 as we begin period 2. Feldman began this period with the escape.
That was a good point by Ari. The Buckeyes do have a tradition of having very successful heavyweights. We remember Kyle Snyder, I'm sure we all do. And Feldman's looking to keep that tradition going for the Buckeyes. Nice attempt. Wow, so athletic from Feldman to cartwheel out of that. But nice attempt by Bullock.
Holy cow, Dan. I know these two guys are heavyweights, but they can move. They're like two freight trains.
Yeah, you don't see many heavyweights wrestle like this. Bullock, I think Bullock has a 10-pound advantage on him if I looked at the weigh-in sheet right. It's interesting at heavyweight when you see, you know, that's a whole weight class at the lower weights, but at heavyweight, it's just another day at the office.
Bullock began his career at Old Dominion. The program got dropped after his freshman year, so he came back to the other school that recruited him, that being Indiana. And Angel Escobedo and the coaching staff embraced him with open arms. He's developed into one of the key pieces for this Hoosier squad.
Yeah, he's been a staple, cornerstone of this program. I know we mentioned last time about Old Dominion dropping their program. What a shame. Let's all try to save Cleveland State wrestling. Let's not let them drop that one.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a petition somewhere.
Yeah, and especially with the gaining national popularity of the sport of wrestling as a whole, women's college wrestling just got approved as the 91st championship sport. Dan, we talked about that in the Rutgers broadcast. Just wrestling in a really great spot. Bullock in on a shot in space. He runs out of time as Feldman gets his feet back. We head into the third period with a 3-point lead for the Buckeye. Big response for Ohio State after Indiana won 197, Dan.
Yeah, this will be a big one for the Buckeyes to get if Feldman can hold on to this 4-win lead. We saw a nice attempt by Bullock at the end of the period. We're going to have to see more of that in this period if Bullock wants to pull this one out. See how long Feldman can ride. It looked like an early start to me, but they let it go.
Bullock gets out and gets the escape. It's a 2-point match. Indiana leads 3-0 on the team score. Nick Feldman, a guy who last year came in and made some noise at heavyweight. He won the heavyweight matchup against Michigan at the Covelli Center last year against Lucas Davison 4-3. That pushed the Buckeyes over their hated rivals, the Michigan Wolverines. And he really hasn't looked back ever since, Dan. He's, as Ari mentioned, a very bright prospect for this Buckeye squad moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's showed why on the mat here today with his athleticism and quick attacks.
Feldman, the only one that's been able to score on a takedown. Both guys have been in on each other's legs.
Yeah, Feldman's been in better position when he gets in there. JB's done a good job of crashing his hips.
Collar ties, wrist ties, snap downs, head-to-head for both of these big guys at heavyweight.
He's got 50 seconds left. I'd like to see Bullock pick up his rate of attack here, put two together. You got to give yourself a chance if you're Bullock.
He's got 42 seconds to try and find a way to get a takedown. Stalling has not been a factor. Stalemated. We reset neutral at center mat.
But that collar, I want you to watch the left hand of Feldman. He's going to grab a collar right there, and that's what's making it hard for JB to get to his legs, that left-handed collar. Oh, and he punches underhook. He's starting to get some ideas here. He's got 25 seconds.
Fans here in Wilkinson Hall want a stall call on Feldman. They haven't gotten it yet. 20 seconds left here at heavyweight. Bullock's got to find a way. Feldman gets warned for stalling as Bullock goes for a double in space. Bullock with 13 to go. We're at center mats. Bullock trying to push the pace, shoots in space once again.
5 seconds.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Nick Feldman hangs on at heavyweights and ties this dual meet back up at 3 apiece. He gets the 4-2 win over Bullock at heavyweight.
Great job closing that out by Feldman, keeping that collar, keeping Bullock off his legs.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Talking with him, I think I told you, he got me fired up. I'm like, I want to put on a Buckeye singlet and go wrestle for him.
Yeah, I was thinking about signing up for a triathlon after that. Maybe an Ironman.
Maybe a 5K. Maybe you and I can do a 5K.
A 5K, that I can handle.
Well, he did talk about mile times. He said mile times are incredibly important for wrestling. If you can't run a sub 5-6 minute mile, then you really aren't tied into your goals as a wrestler. That's exactly what he said.
He did. He firm believer in the correlation between someone's mile time and their capacity to wrestle hard for 7 minutes. It makes sense, you know. 7-minute mile, 7-minute match.
As the first period comes to a close, as we've talked a lot about Tom Ryan, scoreless at 125. For more on the Buckeyes head man, go back to Ari.
Yes, thanks, Riley. Yes, we've been mentioning on this broadcast, Tom Ryan has been such an important person in college wrestling for decades. Starting with that time at IU as an assistant, he said he was really being able to get a chance and get a start as an assistant coach, where he met his wife and was able to, start his career. But then later on, he's now coaching at Ohio State and becoming one of the most respected coaches in the sport. Since taking over the Buckeyes in 2006, he's turned this program into a national powerhouse, leading them to a national title, having All-Americans and national champs. But Ryan says himself, we want to develop men of excellence, both on and off the mat. Success in wrestling is more than just wins. It's about character, resilience, and the pursuit of greatness. But that's all I got for Tom Ryan. He's just an outstanding man. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Ari. Again, as Dan and I mentioned, just a really fun conversation with Tom Ryan to preview this matchup. 1-0 the score, McCrone over Moran. I think one of the best quotes I heard, this is how he got his start in wrestling, Dan. He got cut from the basketball team in middle school, and then that night at the dinner table, his older brother told him, hey, you're going to go wrestle. And Coach Ryan responded, dude, I'm not wearing that singlet. You can't get me to wrestle. And his brother goes, you don't have to wear the singlet in practice, dummy. And he goes, you don't? And so Coach Ryan went to wrestling practice the next day, and the rest is history.
It sure is. And the singlet, I think it keeps a lot of people from trying out the sport. But, we got 2 pieces now. You don't even got to wear a singlet for the match.
Compression shirt, compression shorts, yeah. Although I feel like the singlet has just become such a pivotal and foundational part of the sport. I feel like almost that the compression shorts and the compression shirt is kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I prefer the singlet too. I'll tell you though, I don't like headgear. You could call headgear foundational, but not a fan. But also on that note of Tom Ryan, if you haven't watched the mini documentary that Big Ten Plus put out about Tom Ryan, I suggest you go search it up. It's on this very platform that you're watching this lovely broadcast on. Just a very, very inspiring story for Coach Ryan, recovering from some really scary injuries from a car accident. Really inspiring stuff.
1-0 the score. The Buckeyes still ahead of the Hoosier, and Moran had choice. He takes a neutral. Doesn't want to go on bottom. McCrone, we know, a pretty solid top rider. So Moran, in order to win this one, Dan, got to go get that takedown.
I think that's a smart move for Moran and the Indiana coaches. When I was watching film on McCrone, he is really dangerous from top. He's a cradle hunter. But now Moran gets in here. He's going to try to hook that leg. Same position as before, sort of. Moran a little more desperate now. We'll see if he keeps trying to advance instead of hanging on for a stalemate like before. Same position. Look at McCrone's left hand laced through the waist and around that ankle. It's making it really tough for Jake down there.
Moran trying to get to that peek-through position. He was in on the legs in this same position in the first. Wasn't able to finish. Can he finish this time? 1:15 to go in period 3 at 125.
He's got to get height. He's got to get height here.
He's got McCrone lifted up. He puts him to the mat.
Oh, nothing yet. Nothing
and Moran
yet.
circles
he's
around.
got a cradle
Nothing
locked
yet.
up.
He's got the near side cradle locked up. Can
This
he
could
get
be
McCrone? Can he get McCrone's back to the mat?
Nothing
The official
yet.
hasn't awarded a takedown yet. 55 seconds to go in the third period at 125. That's a three-point takedown for Jacob Moran. He jumps ahead of McCrone with 45 seconds to go in the third.
Oh man, what a job by Moran powering through it. We almost thought he was going to get him to his back, but McCrone slipped that arm out and made it tough on Moran to even get the takedown, but he does it. Now he's got 30 seconds. You got to ride as long as you can if you're Moran. Take him out of bounds, get back, fresh start.
He drives McCrone out of bounds. The Buckeye will go back on bottom. He's got 29 seconds to make something happen. Once again, these toss-up matches, Dan, these ranked head-to-heads, you gotta have it for either team. As McCrone Gramby's out and gets the escape, it's a one-point match.
That was a slick roll. McCrone's gonna throw the kitchen sink at him here. He's got 20 seconds. Moran's got to hold on to this front headlock. He's got to keep him right there if you're Moran.
Moran, nice job, content to hang out down there in the front headlock position. McCrone trying to drive him out to get that stalling call. Moran, you see the savvy move, puts his right boot back in the mats to drain the time. Jacob Moran brings Wilkinson all to its feet. A gutsy 3-2 win for the Hoosier. Indiana back in front.
Man, that toe at the end, that took the last 5 seconds off the clock. Great job by Moran to hold that front head and let the time tick out. What a win for Moran, and the Hoosiers are in the lead, Riley, 6-3.
On the year, another good one in store. Big Ten Wrestling is the gift that keeps on giving, Dan.
Oh, it sure does. And this is another one like we had the last match where it was 2 years ago. Angelo Rini won this matchup when he was a Columbia Lion. And that was at the Cavelli Center. I remember that match. And he's going to be looking to repeat that success here. McCrone is so solid, or Bouzakis is so solid. That front headlock.
6-3 the score. Indiana ahead of Ohio State. Our fourth matchup of the afternoon. Big Ten Wrestling on a Sunday in Bloomington, Indiana. A tune-up, if you will, before the big one later this evening.
The big one, yes, indeed.
14-8 was the score in that head-to-head matchup between these two in the Cavelli Center a couple years ago, Dan. Rini won that one over Bouzakis as we go out of bounds.
A lot of points in that match. So far, we've seen a lot of respect here for both guys. Bouzakis keeping a really low stance, like you see him here on a knee, or if he's not on, he's down, because that's why, because he's trying to defend those doubles of Rini, but Rini's in.
Bouzakis able to roll through the double leg. Rini comes back in on an attack.
Oh,
Bouzakis trying to cut the corner. Similar position that we saw Moran in last match.
Yeah, this crotch lock for Bouzakis. He's got that shoulder beat of Rini. He's looking to cross-face now. If he can hook that leg with his right leg, then he's going to get the points. But Rini holding on tight here. Rini's got to try to get that shoulder back under. He's got to try to get that shoulder back under, that left shoulder. And there you see the knee on the shoulder. That's the battle. That's the battle to watch right here.
Stalemate, and we will reset neutral. Rini, a great job to shoot that double off in space. Bouzakis, a great job defending that shot. No points, Dan.
Man, there was almost some danger on both sides there. Bouzakis had Rini on his back for a second, but what a little scramble. And now we see Bouzakis sticking to that low stance a little more, because those doubles for Rini are so dangerous.
Bouzakis did not wrestle in the dual meet against Minnesota. Meanwhile, Angelo Rini has won 4 straight Big Ten dual meets, 3 of them by tech fall over Dustin Norris, Andy Hampton, and Teddy Flores, and of course got that decision win against Northwestern last week.
Rini's really turned it up this Big Ten season, scoring a lot of points, a lot of tech falls. He's become a cradle hunter too. We'll see if we see him go for it when he does get on top. But for now, 24 seconds to see a takedown.
No score, 20 seconds left, period 1 at 133 pounds. Match 4 of 10 on the day. Rini got that 15-9 decision win over Massey Odiati of Northwestern last Sunday. They've had a full week off. As we go back and forth on our knees, we'll go back up to our feet. Series history between these two dates all the way back to a meeting right here in Bloomington on March 9th, 1993, where Ohio State won 14-11. It's the 97th meeting all-time. Ohio State leads 57, 37, and 2. Buckeyes have won the last 13. They won 18 of the last 20. As Bouzakis starts on bottom, Rini on top. Hoosiers have lost the last 6 against the Buckeyes here in Bloomington. An 18-23-1 record against Ohio State on their home Resolite.
Nice mat return by Rini. He's committed to this ride, and he's hunting cradle. He's hunting for it. Oh, he almost had it locked up.
Sticks a leg in. Bouzakis doing a great job collapsing the hip right there, not giving up any of that forward pressure you need.
Yeah, Rini in a seatbelt position here. Bouzakis doing a nice job pulling that up to his far hip. Now he's going to try to float his hips over. If he can get his hips to the other side, he's going to get this reversal. He's looking to hunt for the head now.
Rini's in trouble. Got to be careful with his shoulder blades close to the mat. Bouzakis gets around, gets the reversal, and he finally gets on the board here at 133.
That was almost a big swing. Bouzakis had Rini on his back for a second. Great job floating his hips over, and now we're back on our feet.
Bouzakis not really committed to that top ride over Rini. 2-1 the score, the Buckeye over the Hoosier. Talk a little bit about Nick Bouzakis, the redshirt sophomore from Tampa, Florida. 4-2 against top 25 opponents this season. He's had 13 bonus point victories, 7 of them major decisions this year. He's got wins over Dustin Norris, Anthony Noto. Close losses to Dylan Shaver of Rutgers 4-3, and he lost to Lucas Burr to Illinois, and then sudden victory 8-5. Not a guy that you're going to beat easily, Dan.
Absolutely not. Not many in the Big Ten are.
50-16, 24-7 in duels in his career as a Buckeye for Bouzakis. Got third at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invite this season.
Bouzakis staying low.
Third period coming up at 1:33, a 2-1 lead for Bouzakis, and Rini has choice. He will take bottom. And once again, Dan, much like we saw at 125, if Rini's able to get up and get the escape, a takedown is what's going to win it for these guys.
Pretty much. It's going to be big for Rini to get out fast here. We'll see how hard Bouzakis looks to ride.
Bouzakis trying to lock up that near side cradle. Rini doing a good job of breaking the grip. He's up to his feet. Bouzakis able to bring both of his legs back down to the mat.
Sneaky mat return going under, and he's still got that arm under. Now he's back, head lever position here.
Bouzakis, a guy that won the 2024 U23 Freestyle Nationals at 61 kilograms with a 7-0 record. Funky move there, and he stays on top. Yeah. See, he's got that near ankle of Rini locked up. Rini doing a good job exploding out, doubles off, and he gets the reversal.
Bouzakis tried to jump cradle a little too aggressively. Rini felt it, popped his head out, and got that reversal. And here we go, Riley, just like you said, we'll see who gets a takedown with 1:10 left.
You blink and you would have missed that reversal. 3-3 the score between Bouzakis and Rini. Bouzakis trying to avenge that loss against the Hoosier when he was back as a Columbia Lion a couple years ago. He's got a minute to do it.
I'd like to see Rini pop off another one of those doubles. We haven't seen Bouzakis really threaten too much, and here he shoots again. He's in. He's got to get up to his feet.
Rini in on that low single, and on that high C position, doubles off. Bouzakis trying to go for the body lock. A takedown for Angelo Rini.
Oh, just incredible. He powered through, no rolling around that time. Rini gets to the finish quick. Now he's got Bouzakis flat. Great position with 30 seconds left. If I'm Rini, I'm keeping his knees right where they are, keep them stretched out, make the ref hit you with the stall, and keep the time ticking.
What a job by Angelo Rini. That short time scoring, Dan, critical for winning these tough Big Ten matches.
And the way he collected both of those legs on that double was something special.
This isn't the Indiana team of old, folks. This team's different, and Angel Escobedo promised that. Angelo Rini, the 6-3 decision over Nick Bouzakis. He's fired up about that one.
Wow. Incredible match by Rini. That's a statement win, and Wilkinson Hall giving him the respect he deserves after that one.
£141, the #1 ranked wrestler and reigning Big Ten and national champion, Jesse Mendez. The junior from Crown Point, Indiana, going against Lucas Peters, the freshman from Kharchla, Wisconsin, getting his first dual action of the season. He's got a tall task in front of him. Jesse Mendez, not even 20 seconds in, gets a 3-point takedown. This guy, Mendez, he's just something else, Dan.
Yeah, Mendez is going to be looking to get bonus here up against freshman Peters. Man, Mendez is so difficult to wrestle. And I know you might be sitting at home saying, well, duh, he's a national champion. Of course he's difficult to wrestle. But no, I've been able to wrestle a couple national finalists, national champs, and Jesse Mendez was the hardest to wrestle out of all. The pace is just incredible. He fires off so many attacks and just keeps them coming. By the end of the match, I mean, you're going to be tired when you wrestle Jesse Mendez.
We're not even a minute into this matchup, and Mendez with that 3-point takedown. Oh, nothing yet. He doubles off. There's the 3-point takedown. He's ahead of Peters 13-2.
It's smothering. His pace is so smothering.
Mendez with that wing locked up, trying to get that bar on the other side. Decides to go for that half. Goes for the tilt on Peters.
Mendez knows that his team needs a pin to tie it up here. A tech's not what he's looking for. Man, a minute and a half in.
Mendez, a 4-time state champ at Crown Point, Indiana. 157-1 at Crown Point, Dan. That's just something else as he puts Peters on his back, trapping the arm. Peters able to roll through, though. That's 3 more near fall for Mendez. He leads 16-2, 1 more point, and it'll be a tech fall in the first period. Mendez, a perfect 21-0 on the season, 13-0 in duels, 9 tech falls on the year, looking for his 10th.
You see Mendez, he wants the pin now. He wants the pin. He's hunting for it. Now he's in a spot where if Peters gets out and Mendez gets another takedown, that's a tech.
Peters again 10-4 on the season, his first dual action as a Hoosier. Again, we knew Jesse Mendez was going to be a phenomenal prospect for the Buckeyes. He's going to be a great collegiate wrestler. We knew he was going to the Big Ten somewhere, Dan, but this is a guy that made a first impression by beating Lucas Bird in his first ever tournament as a Buckeye.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a first impression.
Yeah, he's a heck of a competitor. Reigning national champion, currently ranked #1.
When Ohio State wrestled Minnesota on Friday, though, Dan, Vince Vombar, the -- 8 ranked wrestler in the country for the Golden Gophers, nearly pulled off the upset win over Mendez. Mendez won that one barely 6-5 in the second tiebreaker period. This is a guy in Mendez where that match, he looked the most mortal I've ever seen this season.
It's an interesting matchup. Vombar's a high-paced guy too. So we saw Vombar in that match take a lot of attacks, and Mendez, the first time I've seen him slow his pace down a little bit. And I think that's why we've seen him come out like a ball of fire today and just keep firing him off.
Peters, the freshman, survives the first period flurry. As we start period 2 on our feet, 16-3 lead for Jesse Mendez.
Lucas Peters, to show him some love, he's got a great commentating voice. He might be up in the booth one day.
Definitely, I heard you and him call the wrestle-offs for Indiana to begin this season.
Yeah, I believe Lucas went to high school with Shane Sparks' daughter, so that might be where he got his training, maybe.
Oh, Peters going for the headlock. Mendez being careful. He could have easily gotten around and got that 3-point takedown for the tech fall. You mentioned it, Dan. Mendez wants the pin.
Yeah.
And he's locked up around the body. Not where you want to be with Mendez. He gets the 3-point takedown, and with 1:18 to go in the second, Jesse Mendez in his homecoming back here at Indiana. Remember, from Crown Point. Dylan D'Amelio, as we mentioned, ranked number 8 in the country, the grad student from Curtis, Ohio. 15-2 on the season, 10-2 in duels. Only lost 2 matches this season, folks. 10 bonus point victories. He's 2-2 against top 25 opponents, coming off that 11-1 major decision over Drew Roberts. We'll flip it over to Joey Butler, a guy who's bumping up from 141 pounds. He did so in the dual meet against Northwestern, redshirt freshman from Greenwood, Indiana. 16-8 on the year. Hasn't gotten a dual meet win yet this season in the 2 that he's wrestled in. 6 bonus point victories. First at the Cleveland State Open, 3rd at the Michigan State Open. A 9-8 lead for the Hoosiers. Final 5 matches to go here in Bloomington.
Yeah, Joey Butler bumping up from 141 is really interesting. Obviously, you could see he's a bit undersized at this 149-pound weight class, but he fires off a lot of attacks, very high octane, and 49 is a weight that's been wide open for the Hoosiers this season. Joey Butler looking to stamp it as his own with that beautiful head of hair of his.
And you mentioned the amazing head of hair. I could never pull that off, Dan, but he can. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not going to lie.
I think Head and Shoulders should be calling him for an NIL deal. Him and Troy Polamalu could be in the same commercial.
Especially with the era that we live in NIL transfer portal. That's something that we could make happen, or they could make happen, probably very easily.
Yeah, Head and Shoulders, or, you know, there's lots of shampoo out there that needs a Joey Butler. D'Amelio, he likes to hang in this collar, control the ties. He's got some powerful doubles, powerful outside step, high crotches, really slick. See if he could get to it here. Holding that wrist of Butler.
D'Amelio, a 4-time NCAA qualifier in his own right. 10-9 at the NCAA tournament over his last 4 seasons. 2023, he got 8th as a placer. As Butler gets warned for stalling, D'Amelio keeps his feet in and gets the 3-point takedown. The Buckeyes on the board first with 1:02 to go in the first period at 149.
Beautiful toe drag by D'Amelio on that shot. Just the big toe is what kept him in and gave him that takedown. See if he could ride for 1 minute and 2 seconds here. Joey Butler has had a little bit of trouble getting out on bottom, making this move up to 149. Tough task ahead of him with the skilled ride of D'Amelio here, but good job by Butler.
Quick escape for Butler, and it's back to a 2-point match. Joey Butler on the year got a 13-5 win over Andre Gonzalez of Ohio State. In an open tournament he wrestled in, 13-10 win over Carter Bailey of Lehigh. Last year he redshirted and was 9-5. 2023 IHSAA state champ at 132 pounds, 3-time placer.
He's a guy who's improved a lot from last season. Wrestling with him in the room from last season to this season, you can really tell the improvements and the work that Joey Butler has been putting in. Keeps a really clean diet, eats a lot of liver. Maybe that's why his hair is so nice.
Maybe a lesson we can all take from Mr. Joey Butler, Dan.
Eat more liver. And he's gained the respect of D'Amelio in this first period. 3-1, respectable, and he's taking his shots.
Taking his shots as we end the first period at 149. The Buckeye up 3-1 over the Hoosier. Let's take a little bit more of a deep dive into Dylan D'Amelio, an astounding career at Ohio State. 3-time Big Ten tournament placer. Got 6th last year, 4th in 2023, 5th in the 2022 season. Kind of looking to just put it all together, Dan, and find a way to see himself at the top of the podium. One at the Big Ten tournament in Evanston coming up in a few weeks, but also at the NCAA tournament in Philly.
Yeah, looking to keep his momentum going, get over that hump, climb to the top. Got to get through Joey Butler here. He's taking those shots, but Butler doing a good job keeping space. He's comfortable at this distance as Butler. D'Amelio wants to be either in tight or firing off quick.
Again, 149 and 157 and 165, really, Dan. These are the matchups that if you're the Buckeyes, you really need those bonus point victories. And if you're the Hoosiers, don't give them up and maybe put yourself in a position to win the match towards the end of the third period like Butler's doing right now. Give yourself a chance to win those matches. And all of a sudden, it's a completely different dual meet as D'Amelio's in on a shot as he shelves up the single leg.
these points could play a big factor in whether D'Amelio is able to get bonus points here. He's got that leg shelved. Butler keeping that left ankle spread out. Not quite full splits, but D'Amelio, great job by Butler to kick away and circle back in. And that's a tough stall call. That's a tough one. I mean, we were in action on the edge. We defended the shot, did Butler, and gets hit with the stall.
Yeah, Butler, you saw circle back in. Officials still hit him with another stall call, and that awarded a point to Dylan D'Amelio. Tough call there for the redshirt freshman.
Seems to be the optics of the match that played into that. I mean, D'Amelio has been the more offensive wrestler so far. And look at that collar. Look for D'Amelio to get to that collar and Joey Butler to keep him off the collar, because that's where D'Amelio's getting his offense going. We see him there. And Butler's trying to control that hand, not let him get there. He's so comfortable in that collar as D'Amelio. Has a lot of offense from there.
We mentioned earlier in this broadcast, Indiana trying to bring it all together. They're trying to win their second dual meet in a row after they won 25-13 against Northwestern last Sunday. Again, here's the stall call once again, Dan.
Yeah, Joey Butler kicks away. He tries to circle back in. He almost did circle back in, but the ref didn't see it that way. And he gets hit with the stall. Not too impactful of a point if you're Butler. Rather give that up than the takedown there, and he's looking to get his own point here.
Critical third period at 1:49 between these two teams. The Hoosiers guarding a 1-point lead over the Buckeyes with 5 matches to go. You see D'Amelio going back to that high crotch. Tried to go for the Turk there. D'Amelio. Butler able to kick his legs back out. He's back up to his feet. Can he put the hands in his pocket and cut away as we go out of bounds? The Indiana coaching staff and bench want the officials to warn D'Amelio for stalling. They're not going to get it.
I'm surprised to see D'Amelio trying to ride out so hard here. It's going to be tough to turn Butler. You would think D'Amelio hunting for bonus points here would be getting things going on his feet, but maybe he thinks he can turn Butler. Honestly, if you're Butler, Riley, I mean, of course, you want to win the match. You're trying to win the match. But keeping this to a decision loss, I mean, in my book, that would be a win for Butler in itself. Play a big factor into this dual score.
Riding time coming up on 60 seconds for D'Amelio as he leads the Hoosier by 4. D'Amelio unable to get the full minute of riding time. That's some tough wrestling from the freshman and Joey Butler. And it's a 3-point match with a minute to go at 1:49. D'Amelio takes a shot in space. Butler sprawling out. And we will reset at center mat. Again, Ohio State, as we mentioned, trying to bounce back after that 3-point loss to the Golden Gophers in Columbus.
Yeah, and this would play a big role in doing it for D'Amelio to close this out or get some bonus points. Interesting spot here. You know, Butler's in this match. Butler gets a takedown. We could be going to overtime. D'Amelio wants bonus points, though. So if you're Butler, look for your spots, but don't throw the kitchen sink. Don't go for something crazy and give up a feet to back or multiple takedowns.
Front headlock position for D'Amelio as he gets his legs back. Butler, another freshman in that talented top 15 recruiting class that Angel Escobedo and company signed in 2024. Yeah. This would be a monstrous win in the early going of his career. D'Amelio, on the other hand, trying to get his team that bonus point victory. He's got short time to do it. 20 seconds left, third period, 1:49, a 3-point lead for the Buckeye.
Butler's looking for it here. He's going to have to.
D'Amelio that gets warned for stalling. And D'Amelio gets hit for stalling again. That's a point for Joey Butler. 2 quick stall calls on the Buckeye. It's a 2-point match with 10 seconds to go.
Butler chased him hard. Oh, he almost had that. He's got 5 seconds to chase him here.
5 seconds, Butler shooting. Can D'Amelio hold on? Yes, he can. Just barely. Dylan D'Amelio wins a tough one at 1:49. He wins it 5-3 over Joey Butler, but how about that from the Indiana freshman?
Incredible performance by Butler. Obviously, his score is not what he wants, but to go up against the number 8 guy in the country, 2-point match, I mean, that'll build your confidence if you're Joey Butler bumping up from 141.
Brandon Cannon taking on Ryan Garvick. Getting one of these really weird matchups at 157, Dan, where Indiana really hasn't been deep in these middle weight classes. And Ohio State, on the other hand, not wrestling Sammy Sasso, not wrestling Patty Gallagher. So an important one at 157. We're 4 matches to go.
Yeah, this with that lineup change, this goes from a match where the Buckeyes are heavily favored to a toss-up as we see Cannon collect the ankle and get the takedown there. He's looking for swipes.
Nice shot and takedown there from Brandon Cannon, trying to go immediately to work, trying to look for that tilt as he pulls the bar in on that right arm of the Hoosier. He's got Garvick's near leg locked up.
Garvick's done a commendable job as a freshman in the lineup, keeping it tight with a lot of very good wrestlers. We saw him get a takedown versus Chase Saldate at the end of the match that cut that to a decision. And now he's got a chance here to put the Hoosiers back in the lead. Cannon doesn't want that to happen, though.
Brandon Cannon, the redshirt freshman from Denver, Colorado, 7-2 on the year, 2-2 in duels. 11-9 score. Buckeyes with the lead with 4 matches to go, coming off that 5-3 win. Dylan D'Amelio over Joey Butler as we reset neutral.
Minute and 38 to go in this first period. Garvick looking to get out in under 9 seconds. Riding time taken towards a minute. 5 more seconds and riding time will be over a minute. It's going to be a close call here. Nice mat return by Cannon.
Cannon gets over a minute of riding time. So that drop down count begins and Cannon lets the leg go.
Garvick really funky. Loves to get into funky positions, but Cannon's done a good job of not letting him get to those positions. Oh, and a nice quick drop by Cannon. Touched that ankle, but couldn't quite grab it.
Nice defense there from the freshman in Garvick from Dauphin, Pennsylvania. 6-10 on the year, 1-7 in duels. He got 3rd at the Michigan State Open in the freshman sophomore bracket. 1-5 in Big Ten duels. The only win he had was a 1-point victory, 6-5 over Braden Stauffenberg of Michigan State. He's lost a couple close ones as well. Front headlock position for him right now with 42 to go. The match is stopped. As you see Angel Escobedo spurring his wrestler on at 157. This one, Dan, important in every sense of the word, even though on paper it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and here's Garvick. That's where he likes to be in that Russian tie, the 2-on-1 on that his left side, Cannon's right side. But Cannon likes these outside shots, so that's going to be the battle here. If we see them close, advantage Garvick, but like we just saw there, attack from the outside, advantage Cannon. Now he's looking to hook that leg. Garvick's funky in here, though. Look at that right arm of Cannon. He's got that arm Turk, and now he's got the leg in. He's looking for swipes.
Cannon coming around, cuts the corner, gets the takedown, has the Turk locked up. He gets the reversal and near fall swipes.
Impressive way to end the period for Cannon.
Check that, the takedown and near fall swipes. It's a 6-1 lead. Check that, an 8-1 lead for the Buckeye as we enter period 2. That's a big move for Ohio State to end that first period. Short time scoring, Dan.
Yeah, very good move by Cannon at the end to get those swipes. That arm Turk was sneaky.
Brandon Cannon, last match when he wrestled against Minnesota on Friday, lost 11-2 to number 8 Tommy Askey at 157. And he's bumping up from 149.
Garvick is comfortable in this spot. We saw him go for the move I couldn't name against Rutgers from the same spot. He's going to look for something big here, but Cannon's not giving him the feel he wants because he's not hooking that back leg. Garvick's trying to bait him to back hook that leg, but Cannon gets out.
Looking for that partial guillotine position, potentially. 9-1 the score with the escape from Cannon. We're back up to our feet.
Man, these attacks are so slick from Cannon. He gets that low ankle.
As he pulls Garvick's other leg back in and gets the takedown on the edge of the mat. That's a solid job by the Buckeye. And all of a sudden, you look up at 157, Dan. It's a 12-1 lead for Cannon.
Yeah, he's piling the points on here. Almost in tech fall territory. Garvick's just got to focus on the next point. but this tilt almost had the tilt there.
Second Big Ten duel of the season for Cannon. Kind of been used as a utility guy. Again, if you're a guy that wrestles unattached or if you redshirt, Dan, there's a certain number of matches that you can't, once you get to that point, you can't wrestle anymore. But if the coaching staff wants to use you, go in there, get some experience for your next few years.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about Big Ten wrestling. All these programs are so deep, have all these guys waiting in the wings to get used when they need them. And that's why I love that rule change. Give the freshmen a chance to compete without burning that red shirt. And Cannon's got that claw on that wrist. This ride is so tough. Garvick's got to clear that wrist if he wants to improve. He's got 12 seconds to do it.
He's got that 2-on-1, does the Buckeye over to that left side of the Hoosier, just racking up that riding time. Second period comes to a close. It's a 12-1 lead for Brandon Cannon. And for more on Sammy Sasso, you see him there sitting on the bench. We go to Ari.
Yes, that's right. He may not be wrestling today, Riley, but he has had so many battles in his lifetime that has inspired his team. He is known for his courage and leadership, the two-time reigning national finalist and two-time big-time champion. But after 453 days, he's back, and he loves his sport so much. He has the will and determination, and he hasn't wavered at all. He's teaching his team not to be defined by winning, but for something more with his performance. So just look over there today and see him cheering on his teammates. Even though he's been gone, he's back. I'll send it right back up to you guys. Thank you.
Awesome stuff as always, Ari. Again, yeah, for those that don't know, in this front headlock position with Garvick and Cannon, Sammy Sasso.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh, nice go behind there by Cannon to get the takedown. He's hunting for the tech fall. Sammy Sasso coming back after that shooting incident that he had, Dan, over a year ago. Came back 453 days later and wrestled a dual meet. Thankful, as always, that he was able to come back and actually compete after such a horrifying accident and, situation for him.
Yeah, incredible, inspiring story for Sammy Sasso to be back on the mat, let alone be having a fantastic season as he is. I saw somewhere a clip where he was saying there was a point where he could, and there's the tech fall for Cannon, impressive offense.
Brandon Cannon, 18-3, the tech fall over Ryan Garvick, and the Buckeyes stretch the lead to 8. Taking on Brock Herman, the redshirt freshman from Medina, Ohio. Two Ohio guys. Herman's in on a shot. On that high C shot, Lillard again, so funky, so tough to handle and take down, Dan. He's so light on his feet.
He's so, these splits are incredible that Ty can do. It's so hard to score on him in this position. He ties up those hands, he keeps that split. I mean, most guys in the country would have gotten taken down off of that double. That's a deep double, but Ty defends it. And this is a spot where the Hoosiers are going to need bonus points from Ty.
Yeah, as the Buckeyes lead 16-9 with 3 matches to go. Tyler Lillard 17-6 on the year, 6-3 in duels, 9 bonus point victories. He's a Midlands champ, was a Midlands champ this past year. 3 straight ranked wins to win that title, gutted out those 3 matches to take it home for the Hoosiers. He's lost his last 2 Big Ten matches, both by 3 points. A guy that's looking to bounce back in a big way against the talented Herman.
Yeah, this would be a big bounce back match for Ty. He's very, very determined on this one, looking to give his Hoosiers a chance in this duel.
Flip it over to Brock Herman. 13-4 on the year, 1-1 in duels, his 3rd dual action this season. 10 bonus point victories for him. He did wrestle in the dual meet against Minnesota, ran into Andrew Sparks, the 11th ranked wrestler in the country at 165 pounds. Lost to him 18-1. Front headlock position on the edge of the mat.
Ty likes to dig that underhook on the left side. You see it here. He's going to have to shift to the left and get Herman's head up, or if stalemates it will get back. But that's where Ty wants to be, in that underhook, and try to get that across to his far lat and look to threaten upper body from there.
Lillard 4-10 in Big Ten duels this season. Has wins over Anthony White, Stoney Buell, Jay Nivison, and he lost to Bo Mantinota and lost to Max Mayfield in that rematch of the Midlands Championship. Lost that one 9-6.
There's that hook for Ty. He's looking to throw it by. Herman doing a good job circling, getting his head in the way.
Wilkinson Hall wants a stall call on Herman as Lillard just muscling his way in there. Herman does get hit for stalling with 45 seconds to go in the first period at 165.
The crowd earned that one. Ty's got 30 seconds to get something going here. I'd like to see him threaten with a low shot so that that underhook works a little bit better. This is a tough spot to score from.
20 seconds left in the first period. Lillard again just pushing Herman to the edge of the mat.
There's that throw
Throws
by.
the underhook by and gets the takedown.
Tyler gonna keep that toe in, just tick, tick, tick. 10 seconds, no escape at the end of the period would be huge. He's keeping that right toe. Helps that he's so flexible.
In the final seconds of the first period, Lillard gets on the board first. At 165, a three-point takedown for the Hoosier as we move into period 2. Athleticism, speed, strength. Tyler Lillard, the full package.
You forgot one word there, Riley, and that is vibes. Ty brings the vibes to all of his matches.
Usually always has a smile on his face. Ty with the vibes. That's his Instagram handle, and I really like
sure
that.
Is. High energy guy is Ty Lillard.
As Herman starts the second period on bottom, Lillard with that spiral ride. Herman trying to roll through that as Lillard follows him over. Trying to collapse that near hip.
Ty doing a good job keeping his weight forward. You see that left hand in the pry. Now he's got a half with his right hand. See if he could threaten to turn from here, but right now doing a great job just keeping his weight forward.
Once again, putting a lot of pressure on that shoulder. Trying to put Herman's forehead back down to the mat, doing a good job so far.
Riding time about to go over a minute for Ty. If he could, one mat return would be big here for Ty. You need it if you're Ty Lillard here. Need a mat return, and let's see if he could get it. A nice job. Herman reached for that far leg, tried to roll, but Ty felt it coming.
Tough in the top position, Tyler Lillard eclipses that 1 minute of riding time, and it's still counting as we continue to wrestle on the edge of the mat. He stays on top.
Herman is hunting, seems like he's hunting for reversal. He keeps reaching back, trying to roll through, grab that elbow or grab that far leg. But if you're Herman, I'd like to see him just get up to his feet, make Ty return you, try to get out.
16-9, Ohio State with the lead over Indiana. We've got this match and two more, folks, in what has been a very competitive dual meet so far in the Big Ten. Herman up to his feet, and he cuts away and gets the escape. Lillard with 1:36 of riding time on the clock, with 30 seconds to go in period 2. See if he goes for another takedown.
Nice
he does.
shots.
That nice icy shot in space.
That far ankle, though, Herman's got the far ankle. That's what's keeping Ty. Ty wants to step up with his right leg and drive across, but he can't as long as Herman's got that ankle.
Hold on to the ankle is Herman, and the stalemate is called with 16 to go in period 2.
I like seeing Ty get to his offense, get to that high crotch, mix it up a little bit.
Both wrestlers you see drop down to their knees there off the whistle.
A lot of respect on both sides.
Ear to ear, collar tied up at 165. Period 2 comes to a close. And the Hoosier will take bottom 3-1.
We got a
Has the lead.
blood time
We got a little bit of
here.
blood time on the mat. As both wrestlers are tended to get a little sip of water, taped up.
You can feel the energy in Wilkinson Hall here, Riley. The Hoosier fans know if Ty Lillard gets this match, or bonus points, ideally, if you're a Hoosier fan. The Hoosiers are in a good spot. Herman looking to get to his offensive zone after this blood time, catch his breath, and have a little more firepower.
Indiana 3-3 in conference duels this year. Ohio State 4-2. They're 4-1 in road duels. The only one they lost was to Iowa in Iowa City a couple weeks ago, and I asked Coach Tom Ryan about how they're able to stay so solid and stay focused on the road. He said it's easy to get caught up in the mundane, but he tells his guys that you have to remember why you love the sport. He said love is the greatest enemy of fear. Lillard gets the escape, and he's ahead by 3. I loved that quote. Love is the greatest enemy of fear, Dan, and I think everybody in here watching, all the wrestlers out there right now, us on the broadcast, we love this sport as it continues to grow. Herman's in on a single leg.
In here, similar position to before.
Yep, he wasn't able to score it last time. Can he double off this time? Lillard rolls through.
Oh my goodness.
Butt was to the mat for a second, but he's in that split step, so flexible as Lillard.
That roll saved Ty from points there. Now he's in the splits again. Herman's trying to pick this up. If you're Herman, try to pick this up, get it to your hip, shelf it. But wow, the flexibility of Ty Lillard. Incredible. And now if Ty could beat his shoulder, if Ty can beat that left shoulder as it just slipped, and Ty's looking to get his own points.
Lillard trying to cut the corner. Herman still holding on to that leg. A minute left in period 3 at 165. Lillard comes around, gets another takedown.
Coach Escobedo's yelling, cut him, cut him.
Coaching staff wanting Lillard to cut him and go for the major decision. Look for that bow and arrow for a second. Lillard gonna let Herman go.
Herman's feeling it.
No escape is given yet. There it is. It's a 7-2 match. Riding time is locked up for Tyler Lillard. Effectively an 8-2 match. He needs a takedown. He throws Herman. Brock Herman's on his back. Lillard hunting for the ball. Can he get it? Herman's in trouble, and he just rolls out of it. 4-point near fall for Tyler Lillard. Whoa!
Incredible. He jacked up that underhook, put him to his back, almost at the fall, but hey, 12-point lead. Coach Escobedo's going to be happy with the major here. Ty Lillard hyping up the crowd. Listen to him.
Big moves from big wrestlers. Tyler Lillard, Ty with the vibes. 15-2 over Brock Herman. He gets the major decision.
Wow. Incredible final sequence here.
Experience in duels, wrestles in a couple tournaments. Big matchup at 164, a potential duel deciding match at 174.
He's always fun to watch, Roman Rogotzke. Dangerous from everywhere, but a nice takedown by Kharchla off the get-go. I mean, I'm sure Kharchla trains with Rogotzke's brother a little bit in the room, and Roman and his brother Ryder, they wrestle super similar, so you got to think Kharchla kind of has felt that weird feel that those Rogotzke brothers give.
Yeah, Rogotzke, one of the most unorthodox styles. Kharchla with another shot in space. Dumps Rogotzke to his hip, gets another takedown. 2 takedowns for the Buckeye, not even a minute into this matchup at 174.
He's looking assassin. He's looking assassin. If Kharchla, and he's got it locked pretty tight.
And he puts Rogotzke on his back, a dangerous position for the Hoosier. Kharchla hunting for the fall and the death nail in this dual meet.
Kharchla's got to get his right hip to the mat and keep cranking. It's that left shoulder Rogotzke, and a nice job to keep fighting through that position.
Rogotzke able to roll through that one, but Kharchla 4 more points. He's ahead 10-1 with a minute 35 to go in the first period as Rogotzke gets another escape.
And a nice re-attack here by Kharchla. He chases that angle, and now he's got Rogotzke stretched out.
Semi-peek through position. Kharchla gets his head outside, doubles off, gets the takedown. 3 takedowns for the Buckeye as the match is stopped. Again, Indiana throwing a bit of a curveball here at 174. Typically, at least the past few dual meets, Dan, we've seen Derek Gilcher, who's coming up from 165, wrestling at 174 today. They gave Roman Rogotzke the nod.
Yeah, good for Roman to get in there against his brother's team. Gilcher's had a strong season himself as we see Rogotzke escape. We're looking to get a takedown of his own.
It's a 10-point matchup.
Kharchla's just done a great job of not getting in those funky positions where Roman wants to be. Finishing clean and quick. That's been his key so far, and let's see if he could do it again.
High C shot. Rogotzke just trying to hang on to that leg. It's another takedown for Kharchla, who's putting on a clinic at 174.
Yeah, such a clean finish. Looks like he's going to cut him here and go for the first period tech.
16-3, make it 16-4, a 12-point match. One more takedown would end it. Not typically, at least the past couple seasons, but with the new rule changes a couple years ago, the 3-point takedown brought more offense to the sport.
Yeah, more points the better as Kharchla looks.
Rogotzke rolling, Kharchla over. Kharchla comes out the back, gets the takedown. Quick work. Carson Kharchla, the clinic at 174. A tech fall for the Buckeyes. And that ices the dual meet for Ohio State with one match to go. Dan, it's your match of the night. 184 pounds, number 19, Ryder Rogotzke, the sophomore, against number 26, DJ Washington, the grad student. We're immediately going upstairs, locking around the body.
We're going to see some throws, some upper body stuff in this match, and a quick stall.
Rogotzke gets warned for stalling. This one's going to be a lightning strike of a match at 184.
Oh, and a nice quick shot by Rogotzke.
And on that single leg, now to the high C shot. Their defense so far from Washington. Washington Grand Prix rolls through, comes out the back. Rogotzke responds with one of his own. No points awarded yet. Washington with the go behind, trying to trip Rogotzke to the mat, and he gets the takedown.
What a sequence that was. So many rolls. It was kind of like how Ty Lillard rolled, but Rogotzke's so dangerous from here. He's looking headlock.
Trying to go for that whip over. He's got the headlock locked up. That's a 2-point reversal. Rogotzke, he's getting near fall points at 184. Washington's in trouble.
Wow, it goes from 0 to 100 so fast with Rogotzke. He's looking to get those shoulders to the mat.
Plenty of time for Rogotzke. You can just hang out in this position. That's the fall for Ryder Rogotzke.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, that was, I mean, looked like there was no danger there for Washington until there was. It was such a quick move by Rogotzke reaching back for that head. Most of your youth coaches will tell you don't reach back. Usually that's true, but if you're Ryder Rogotzke, you can get away with it.